Hello, we are Kingfishr and we are here with Dario. My name is Eddie and I sing.
My name is Magoo and I play the banjo.
I'm Fitz, I play the electric guitar.
The story of Kingfishr is pretty unorthodox, I think, by most standards. We started off studying engineering in university, and then during lockdown, basically, we just started writing music together. And it snowballed from there, really, over the space of the last... I think our first shows in the UK were like 18 months ago, or last February or March, our first headline shows. And it's gone from one strength to another. I know. Yeah, we were only talking about this, that the way it's snowballed in the last 2-3 years has just been absolutely spectacular. So we've ended up playing and getting to support some of our biggest heroes and playing some of the places that we only ever dreamt of growing up. So we're very happy boys. Well, I didn't play any music really until I came to university, and I learned from the lads that I was going to house parties with, and you'd always see a guitar at like a pre-drinks or an after party or something. Someone would pull something out, start playing. So picked it up from there. I know the two boys were in a different story.
I was crawling and then a banjo was put in my hand. I've been playing music since I was a baby. It has a very strong presence in my house at home, and in the general area, North Tipper area is known for good traditional music. So I wanted to learn the guitar for whatever reason, and a guitar teacher couldn't be got, so a banjo was acquired, and I was told to shut up and play it, and it was the same thing. So that's led me here.
I probably started music the same way most Irish people start music. They're handed a tin whistle when they're in like first class, so maybe they're like 8. And then I picked up the concertina when I was maybe 10 and played that for 7 or 8 years, and then learned the guitar after that when I was maybe 18. So I've got a bit of a mix of both. If you listen closely to our album, you hear the concertina all over it in the background. Been playing electric guitar then for about 2 years maybe.
Whoever you listen to at the moment will have a huge influence on you, and I've been playing traditional music for 20 years. And it was my entire life for a while. I don't think we deliberately make it sound or suggest traditional influences and stuff. Being Irish and stuff, you're of your landscape and you're of who you are, so it's going to show up. It's a huge privilege to play traditional Irish musics that don't normally belong on these stages, and people to accept them and enjoy them so warmly. We're not limited to traditional music either, you know.
Like, we've got your borderline rock songs in I Cried I Wept. Our Man in the Moon is kind of close. You've got things then that are completely the other side, like Shot in the Dark and Kill Our, very traditional kind of ballady. Heart in the Water then has a very that's one of the songs that has like a kind of an Irish tune kind of interpolated in it, and it's got like a weird tripleted like 4/4 beat to it that's quite Irish. You weave in and out through all these things. It's just different influences from different people we listen to. I don't think we're very much stuck to a genre, like indie folk pop.
Oh yeah,
somewhere there.
Realise how painfully Irish we were, or at least I didn't, until we left home and started to travel around, and then you see just how unbelievably
we stand out.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Ireland, for whatever reason, you could talk for hours about why Ireland punches so heavily culturally, I suppose, with music and art and that kind of thing. But ultimately, we're storytellers and always have been, and the consequences of that are so far-reaching, I guess, and you're always either someone is able to tell a good story or he tells this one lovely. Is a great phrase, you know. And I suppose ultimately, as we've gone and fallen forward and made more and more music and seen more and more, we realise that it's the stories that we have been able to weave into the music are probably what draws people in the most. Stories about our own lives. So maybe I don't think there's no big drive for the Irish thing, like. It's kind of just there as is.
The reason there's a session at a pub every Friday night or Saturday night is so that all the locals come down and meet each other and have a drink, and it's like it's a community thing more than it is a drinking thing or a commercial thing or anything like that. It's sure. It was even Eddie, you play guitar because your housemates at a house party could all play guitar, and you're like, well, if these idiots can do it, so can I. That's the reason you even learnt it. So it very much so community, I think.
Used to be religion, like used to be meet everyone at mass.
Yeah.
And then you go to the pub.
Yeah.
Now we've cut the middleman out, gone straight to the pub.
Straight to the pub.
Push your luck, go to sleep.
We met a couple of lads who were running a label, and they had basically bought into us, and they were like, look, we love what you're doing, we'd love to give you a few quid so you can quit the jobs and do the whole thing full time. And we liked their whole vibe and what they were offering and blah blah blah, and it all went well. And then we decided we were going to do it, and then that night we flew back from Birmingham or wherever, and the three of us were sitting around the table in Tip, and we were essentially we said we'd be back in jobs in 6 months, it'll be grand. It's one of those things that you'll get to tell people in years to come. And like, wasn't it gas that we were in a band and we got the deal and all the stuff. And during the course of the conversation, I picked up a guitar and was just strumming away, and the song fell out of it. And that night it was kind of, none of us had really any consideration for what the song was or what it was. So wrote it down, went to bed. A couple of weeks later, we were looking for something in a set that was a little bit more down or something, and we were kind of hunting through ideas that we had, and we were like, oh, if we try this halfway through, we might get a bit of a lull, just as the way the set moves, and played it, and all of a sudden the whole room was just like totally different. And then the video went up and stuff, and it was just like, had done the whole thing on TikTok, which I don't think you can do that intentionally. It's just the way all these things happen is just so natural and so fluid, and the less you think about it, the better it goes. And I think like the whole vibe of Shot in the Dark being like, if it all falls apart, at least we enjoyed it. I don't think we realised how open we were being at the time, or we hadn't considered that so many people would feel something in the lines and in the music so deeply. Hard to wrap your head around. If you think about these things, or if you try and analyse any of this, it's like, you do what you do, you write what you write. Something actually talking about a voice that, is it Benny Blanco? Was that the guy who married
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez?
Not
Benny? No, he's a DJ. Who's Benny? I saw in a documentary that he said, you're going to write the songs you're going to write. And I thought that was a fantastic piece of advice. And that it's in you. Whatever's in you is in you. And if it's going to come out, it's going to come out. Your job is only to let it happen, kind of a thing, and to write whatever falls in your lap. We don't want to get big heads at the end of the day.
No.
That'd be the worst. I think that's the worst.
Definitely. It is Benny Blanco also.
Is it?
Yes.
All right. But yeah, like, it's amazing. It's amazing to be part of it. It's amazing to see so many young people, especially at our gigs now, like kids, like 4 or 5, they're all singing Killa and doing all those things, and it's like, how do you wrap your head around that? It makes you very proud to be Irish, or proud of the culture, or proud of the thing.
It was quite a quick learning curve. Like, we went from like just about scraping together a show there, our first show in Pharmacia, and then it was like, oh, you're doing an Irish tour in like 300, 400 cap rooms, and it's like, oh, then you're going out to the UK and you've only got the room in the van and you've got to bring everything in. How do you fit all that in the van? And then you just keep scaling up, and then you've got fly packs and stuff, and like, we've had a lot of people, good people, helping us, in fairness, because we wouldn't have had hope ourselves, 3 of us, in fairness. So particularly we supported James Bay, very lucky to do it at the start of this year, and he gave us so much time and advice. I just sitting there playing a game of FIFA, and he'd just be talking to you about like the first album, and like where heads are at that, and how to deal with all that, and just like it's so lucky to be able to get to meet these people and actually just get to talk to them and get a bit of advice off them, and hopefully we can do the same for people in years to come. Like, we've said this many times, we grew up very much in public because this thing snowballed so quickly. We didn't have time to sit behind closed doors for a year or two and figure out what we wanted to sound like. It was kind of just figure it out as we go and release the songs as we write them, rather than release it and be like, well, that's not kind of the thing we want to sound like, or well, let's make it more this way. It was just to kind of do it. And maybe now we're starting to figure out a bit more of an accurate sound, like what we want to be, what we want to sound like. But I mean, there's something kind of beautiful in the, like, it being so open and clear as to how we've grown up and how we've figured that out.
At the end of the day, I think ultimately what draws people into especially live music is the person on the stage. Not the gear and all that is grand or whatever, but especially with acoustic music and when there's a banjo and it's kind of more folky side of things, I think ultimately, like, as long as the thing makes noise, you should be. Well, that's my opinion. I know Magoo maybe has a different take on it.
Production can only cover up so much. Like, if you can't get up in a pub and play the songs, you can't cover that up. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Go raring and tearing and fighting for love.
I remember when we had quit the job, we were just doing it. Obviously, didn't do too much consultation on the whole from our parents, like. So I remember my sister was going mad, and my sister and my dad had sat down, and we were chatting away. And Hayes was like, "You have no money, you have no plan. You're after signing this thing, you're quitting the job. You have no idea what you're doing. You're a complete idiot. You spent 5 years in an engineering course. You're not even going to use it. We've paid a load of money for this. So what are you doing with your life?" And I remember she was going on and on. It was all very valid and very pragmatic, and she was right. Is the thing. She was saying all this, and I'm looking at her like, I have nothing to say to you because you're all correct on all accounts. And she was like, "Dad, will you say something for God's sake?" And Dad turned around and he was like, "Ride the wave." Yes. Unbelievable. But the capos,
Incredible. Actually, my favourite capo.
unreal,
So much fun.
unreal. Everything else, there are always too much tension on them. They always like
Well, you
they're
can't
too.
just, there's no way of adjusting it on all the other capos. It's one tension, and it's like, well, this changes on every guitar and every neck of every guitar.
Yeah.
How you can adjust the capos.
Yeah. Same for the banjo, because you need lower tension for the banjo.
They're unreal. They're class.
Good, reliable, easy, nice community to be a part of.
And I know you're just a version of my shadow. I was terrified of listening to the lights, so the darkness came alive, telling me I